Okay, it's working. Alright, welcome to Oceania Racing League Div 2 Round 9 here in Mexico City. I'm joined by J-Man in the comms box, and we have qualifying underway now.
Looking forward to another very exciting Div 2 race today. Got 19 on the grid this afternoon, so should shape up to be a good race, as most of them have been so far this season.
Yeah, it's been a good little season, and Mexico always seems to cook up something interesting for us. I think the last time, I don't think we had Mexico last season, but I do remember Mexico Div 2 Season 1. It was a championship decider, and it was a very good race. I'm hoping the reputation continues with Mexico tonight, because I want to keep the streak of good Div 2 races running.
Yeah, well, just to put the season into perspective here, obviously Vipemon far and away in the lead by 113 points, as DXman nearly spins out there. But the battle for second is a little bit more interesting. Vipemon's teammate Spark is second. Mickey just 11 points behind him in third, and then Zonix 12 behind in fourth. But even more interestingly, the constructors in Div 2. So second is Alpine on 98, followed by third Ferrari 87, fourth Red Bull 86, fifth Mercedes 85, sixth AlphaTauri 84, and seventh Haas 82. So third from seventh, separated by 5 points. So that order could completely flip this afternoon as well.
Yeah, so the constructors' standings are very, very close, and I'll let you take it away with Cozzy for the first flying lap of this session, Jamin.
Alright, Cozzy making his way down the main straight out of the final corner here. And a very, very long straight, one of the longest out of any race. And we'll see, it's an important first corner here. Make sure to nail the braking point and get it turned in nice and easy there from Cozzy. And a little bit slow through the first bit there. Goes wide, doesn't invalidate because he didn't make up any time for that. And now through the second DRS zone here, in through the first sector, 28.8, which is solid just for the first lap at the moment. And this is a nice little technical section of track here, and Cozzy gets through it quite smoothly. Now through the S section, one of the more challenging parts of the circuit to try and keep the car pointing forward. Cozzy seems to be up for the challenge here. Or just clips and invalidates there. That's a very, very common place to invalidate, and unfortunately that is first lap over for Cozzy there.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Just really easy to do through the S section there, and it's just unfortunate. And I'll go to Milan in the Aston Martin now, also entering the S section to the left, back to the right. It's such a fast portion of the racetrack. DXmon sets a 16.5 first provisional pole lap of this qualifying session. I assume there's more to come. Melbourne Matt goes P2 with a 17.2. Milan into the third sector now, through this tricky right-hander. So easy to run out wide, and then down through this small little hairpin, and then you want to get on the throttle as fast as possible to the final corner, cut it tight to the line to create the shortest lap time possible for yourself. He's done a 1 minute 17.7 P4 on the grid, and Kizzy has also gone P2 with a 17.1.
Just quietly, 16.5 is a very solid lap time straight off the bat for DXman. He's proving to definitely be a qualifying threat. I think he's taken a couple poles as Vipemon goes a 1:16.9 into second place. But DXman looking quick this afternoon, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the battle for pole again here today.
Yeah, he's definitely found his mojo. I think since Monza, he's just been picking up the good results here, there, and everywhere. And Cozzy now on his second flying lap across the line. What's it going to be? It's an 18.7, so we'll definitely have to improve on that. But yeah, just talking with DXmon, like, I think he has a late championship charge ahead of him. I don't know if he has the time to take it to the likes of Vipemon, but it'll definitely be close.
In the standings at the moment, but if he outscores Zonix by 5 points, that puts him, he can jump up to fourth by the end of today. So definitely well and truly in the hunt for a top 3 finish in the championship if he can keep the form that he's currently in.
Yeah, for sure. And so who's on a lap?
Have a look at Sandy here.
Yeah, Sandy going through the middle sector in the Alpine.
And there's a little bit of a spinner, a Haas, I think it might have been Cozzy on the left-hand side as Sandy makes his way through the second sector, going off the track there. Just maybe a lapse in concentration there for Sandy, but he loses that lap. And it wasn't looking too bad either, so he'll be a little bit disappointed in himself for that one.
Yeah, just it's a little bit easy to do there, to be fair. Just easy to lose your concentration and run out wide. I think who'll be on a lap is Mickey on an in lap, or yeah, Zonic's also going in. Frosty has just invalidated, so it doesn't matter if it was an in lap or not. Beast is invalidated, so I think we just go. Sparks on his outlap will be the next across the line, I think. Yeah, Melbourne Mac only going through turn 1, so we'll go to Sparks, obviously. Has he even gone out for a run yet and invalidated, or?
I don't believe so. I think this is his first go, so he's taking his time this session. Just short and sweet here for Spark.
Yeah, and a note I forgot to mention, Churchy is serving a qualifying ban, so that is something to note. He won't set a lap in this qualifying session, but here we go, on board with Sparks in the Williams, down one of the longest straights on the calendar, opening the DRS underneath the Fanatec banner, and then a long run burning battery all the way down into the first corner, slash first chicane, hard braking at the 100 meters, nail the first apex, cut it across back to the right and then back to the left and swiftly back to the right. It's such a tricky triple chicane, can catch out some of the best drivers on their day, and opening up the DRS for another chicane, but this one a lot more slow. You want to sacrifice this first left part to get more across, to open up this right-hander that induces so much understeer. And this is my personal favourite on the track, this double apex. When you nail it, so satisfying to get right, and then you slam on the throttle into the trickiest part of the racetrack, this S section. First apex to the left and then to the right. Don't spin on that curb, it likes to hook up the car, and then you can take it flat out depending on the setup through there. Mr. Sparks understeers though, and then gets a bit of oversteer on the exit, opening the DRS, so that won't be his ideal run through Sector 2 as he enters Sector 3, sweeping through this deceivingly sharp right-hander, and then now the hairpin of the stadium section. Obviously 360-degree coverage of fans surrounding you, and then to the line, cut it close. What lap time is it going to be? It's looking like it's going to be a decent lap time, puts in P8 with a 17.8. So
yeah, the field field looking quite bunched up together as Morrow sets a 18.1. Mexico, obviously, a few less corners, so less time to be gained.
Scott Gaming spun around, he got all out of shape through the S section, hence my little reaction there, and then he let it overheat his tyres and he spun around as he was on a lap, so I guess Dead Heat will be the next best to watch, and you can continue what you were saying, J-Man.
Yeah, so you can see from 1st to 7th, only about a second apart, which is generally closer than what we see in Div 2. I might just have a look at Vipermon here, who's on a lap at the moment. He'll be challenging DXman's current pole position time. He's up 2/10 on his previous best here, Vipermon. Coming through Sector 2 as Milan sets a 16.8. Very impressive to put him in second. And we'll see what Vipermon's response to that is. Will he be able to nab that provisional pole position? And of Noah, the Aston Martin's 2 and 3 at the moment. Which makes me very happy. Here goes Vipermon through the final sector. We'll see. He's 4/10 up. This is looking very handy here from Vipermon. He could absolutely blow this out of the park as long as he keeps it together through the last sector. And he's done pretty well there. Just needs to make it out of the final corner. And we'll see what he gets here on the run to the line. Here we go, Vipermon. And it's a 1:16.5. Just a little bit faster than DXman. And now DXman is going to have to conjure something up to respond to that.
Yeah, so this qualifying session heating up to be quite the battle for pole here. The Aston Martins showing up out of absolutely nowhere, I must say. And then Vipermon and DXmon definitely picking up the pace. And DXmon had invalidated his lap, so he's coming into the pits. And I'll go to Rapid Mickey. Is it his first race in the Ferrari? Or was that round
I believe... I'm not sure, actually. Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, so his first race in the Ferrari just invalidates through the S's. And...
Mara's retired. Let me see if I can grab up that. Harold Dino is about to drive past it. Yep, you can see where he's dropped it there, just to the left. Unfortunate for him. That's the end of the quali for McLaren there.
Yeah, not the greatest end.
And Zonix has retired at the same spot, it looks like.
Oh god, the S's are going to be death in the race. I
mean,
it was...
exact same spot, and Sandy's spun there too.
Oh no, everything's kicking off.
Yeah, it's an identical spot for Zonix. They must have done the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to do, as I'll go to Frosty, who's invalidated through the S's. It's so hard, because you've got to be on the limit of the track limits, or you've got to be inside them, because the car just won't take anything else. You've got to be well inside the limit, or just absolutely on it.
Just quickly, Frosty's about to finish his lap here,
yeah,
3 tenths up, and he's invalidated.
Yeah, he was invalid before that. And Kizzy a 10th down, going through the S section, and he is pushing hard through the end of the S section, but I think it's a second lap because his ERS is quite low and he's 2 tenths down. So
that's unfortunate.
Ideal, he might just end up
Mickey's
coming into the pits.
Up on his time though.
So we'll go to Mickey, who's about to enter the double apex. First apex hit, second apex hit, and then takes all the track on the exit. So nice to watch, and so nice when you're the driver, and you absolutely nail it on the limit here through Sector 2's Mickey. Doesn't take that curb on the right-hand side because of the high chance of it spinning the car, but he's just on the absolute knife edge. He runs out. I thought he invalidated there. Maybe got off the throttle, but he's 4 tenths up, so probably not. He might break the 16 barriers, putting him somewhere in that top 4 potentially if he can get this last sector right. He is another one in the battle for pole and was a championship contender from the start of the season. And no, he's spun! No. He's thrown it all away. So easy to do at Mexico, and let's hope he can get it away from the pit lane, because it does like you to disqualify you for doing that. And hopefully
Mickey,
yeah.
That was his second flying lap as well, so if he had have done that well through that part of the track with full ERS, I reckon that could have been a lot faster, maybe challenging top 2. So unfortunate for Mickey there, but he's still got one more chance to make up for it.
Yeah, as I'm actually watching Sparks now, if you want to commentate over the top of that.
Yeah, here we go. Sparks making his way through.
Oh,
yes!
no!
Oh my goodness! He's dropped it. And another victim to that corner. It happens a lot in Div 2. That a lot of cars have trouble at the same spots, and Spark unfortunately loses that lap. And he'll probably want to hop back into the pits, considering the age of his tyres, or maybe he'll have another go, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's ideal to come in, but yeah, as I was talking about that little upwards curb on the, so you come through the left and then you got to take that curb on the right if you want to get the fast lap time, but you spin the car a lot if you take that, and I think he's just proved the point ever the more, and yeah, it's just so easy to do. I think it's going to cause some carnage in the race, probably a safety car or two, as Frosty actually beginning a lap now in the Red Bull. Do you want to take that, or?
Yeah, right. So Frosty in 7th at this stage. He definitely thinks he has more lap time in his arsenal than that, as he goes aggressive into turn 1, way too aggressive. And that was a bit of a costly error there from Frosty, maybe trying to bite off a bit too much, but he should still have one more chance if he has the tyres available. But yeah, not the best result there for Frosty.
Yeah, and it was one of those things. I think last game in F1 2021 you could cut that much and that was how you gain the most lap time. Can't do that on this game, and easy to invalidate there if you just brake a bit too early, and I think he's just done that.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go to Sandy. Ooh, he runs very wide through the third part of the first chicanes, the complex, and braking hard at 100 meters. He's a 10th down, but he still has the rest of the lap ahead of him now. As he runs wide again, that'll lose him even more time. And through the double apex corner, misses the second apex, uses it to propel his exit though, as he winds through the snaky sector 3. He takes all that curb, but he invalidates on the right hand side. And another, I won't say victim because he didn't particularly spin out, but another loser from the snake section as Kizzy in the Mercedes beginning a lap as he is about to head through the second chicane. A lot of traffic now, everybody coming out for those final runs, so it is the driver's best caution to be used now because they don't want to run into
It looks
traffic.
like Of Noah is the only driver that has new tyres for this last lap.
I think Vipermon would. He's only done 2 flying laps and he hasn't invalidated one. Oh, Kizzy invalidates. I'll let you take away Milan's lap if you want.
We'll have a look at DXman just for the moment, who's right in the mix here.
He's invalid.
No, he's not. He's invalidated. We'll have a look at Of Noah, who's up 2/10 though. Of Noah is, if he keeps this up, he'll be able to put this on pole here. He just needs to hold it together through these S's. What can he do here? Turns in nicely, keeps it together, and just hangs on through there. Can he keep it together through the S's? He's taken that beautifully here, and we're right on for a potential pole position here. A new pole sitter in Div 2. Can Of Noah be the man? He goes aggressive into that corner. Looks to have gotten away scot-free there. Now, can he finish it off here? Into the final corner. He has 4/10 up on his time. Can he hold it together? The run to the line here. Is it good enough for Of Noah? He crosses the line, and it is a 1:16.3. Will it be good enough to hang on? Aston Martin on pole here as Mickey goes on to 4th position, and Milan's lost it.
Yeah, Vipermon beginning a lap here, so we'll go on board with this for the fight for pole. Vipermon, I suggested that he might have some time left in him after that last flying lap he's done. Let's see if he can pull out the 2/10 that he's going to need to snatch back provisional pole as he heads through into the second chicane. He's down on his lap time by about 1/2 now, so he's got it all to do with the lap times being such on a knife edge. Losing that much could be the difference between pole or not. But he's still, if he nails it through this S section, I think he was a little bit slow through it last time. To the left, uses all the curb on the right hand side. This time nearly gets out of shape there, and he is out of shape, but he doesn't let it affect his lap time too much. On the knife edge, and no, he invalidates. That is crucial for this qualifying session.
Will he be able to make it in time? There's not long left. And
he doesn't have the
we'll
battery.
look up to Milan here. Milan on a lap. DXman is going to get a lap in, it looks like. Yes, he does. And Milan is just down on his time, currently going through the second sector. He doesn't need to improve by that much to gain a position here as he makes his way through. Kizzy remains 8th in the meantime. And now, Milan making his way through. Of Noah and Vipermon have finished. Will Of Noah be able to hang on to pole position here? Will it be snatched by Milan or DXman or Spark? Milan now making his way through the final sector here. What time can he put up? It's not looking great, and I don't think he's going to be good enough, but we'll have a look back at DXman, who is improving, and he doesn't need to improve by that much either to get pole position for McLaren here. DXman now flying through the second sector. If he gets this right, it could be game on here. And he goes right to the edge there. And now making his way through DXman. He's done that pretty well. We'll see how this time compares through the second sector. He needs 2/10. It's 1.4. It's going to be so close here. DXman through the final sector. Of Noah had a little bit of time to gain through here. So if DXman can nail this, the pole position could be all his through the final corner. DXman now the run to the line. It's going to be good enough. He's going to be right there. Crosses the line, it's not good enough. It's 3rd position for DXman. He was so close. Just lost it through the final sector there, unfortunately.
As he came through the second part after the hairpin at the stadium section, he had a massive snap of oversteer into the final corner.
But it's Of Noah in his first full-time league race, getting pole position. Unbelievable effort.
What a qualifying. That was came down to the last.
Taking the
possible
challenge
moment.
to Vipermon here. And 1/10 as well. He'll be very happy with that effort.
Yeah, I mean.
And so am I, actually.
Yeah, what a lap. So your grid order is of Noah, Vipermon, DXmon, Rapid Mickey, Milan rounds out the top 5, Mr. Sparks P6, and Melbourne Max 7th, Not Kizzy 8th, Frosty 9th, Sandy 10th, rounds up the top 10, and then Zonix, Scott Gaming, Dead Heat, Mr. Morrow, Harold Dinya, Cozzy, XX Beast, PS Bomber, and Churchy are the remaining 9. So
not many people improved their lap time in their last run there.
Yeah, I think the consensus was everybody pushed too hard on their second push and didn't leave any time in the bag at all.
Is there a formation lap?
No, there is not.
Okay.
I'll take the lights. So we're just loading into the race here. People will be doing their strategy and applying adjustments to their setups like tire pressure and things like that. No formation laps, so we'll go straight to the lights here for Div 2 to get action underway. Should be interesting. So 10 seconds until the start, and who's your pick for the win?
Noah had an incredible qualifying, but I still think Vipermon, he always finds a way.
Yeah, so as we come to 5 red lights here for the Mexican Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Vipermon gets a good start there. I don't know if Of Noah particularly got a great one, but DXmon has an absolute steamer up the inside. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. DXmon, Vipermon, and Of Noah 3 wide as they head into turn 1. DXmon holds the lead, but he's side by side now with Of Noah. Will he get the move done? Vipermon backed out of it, and he's now up the inside, gets P2, so it's now DXmon, Vipermon, Of Noah.
Frosty spun, Dead Heat as well.
Dead Heat and Frosty spun Melbourne Mac up to P6. They're side by side with Sparks in the second chicane. So is Mickey and Milan, who will get done here. They're still side by side. A couple of drivers getting pushed wide. Of Noah gets the move done on Vipermon, moves back up to P2 here, and this is where the carnage begins through the S section. Will everyone make it through? No, there's already a spin. 2 cars Mercedes in the wall. And it is not Kizzy and Melbourne Mac. And
Churchy up 10 places in the first lap.
Virtual safety car.
Churchy up 10 places in the first lap. Kizzy last. Melbourne Mac down in 18th too. Frosty had a spin off the start, and so did Morrow. So they've lost out. DXman, what a start from him into first position there. Gets past Of Noah and Vipermon. Vipermon looked a shoe-in for the lead, but DXman just came absolutely flying home. And Mickey managed to get past Milan just before that VSC as well. But what a start from Churchy at the back. Just Lightning McQueen through all the carnage there. And yeah, he'll be very happy to recover that deficit quickly.
Yeah, it makes me very, very happy.
Yeah, the 2 Alphas up 16 places between the 2 of them.
Yeah, makes just all the better for me.
Melbourne Mac and Dead Heat obviously cop some damage there. They're in the pits. And we'll have a look at the tyre situation. Beast on the softs. Everyone else on hards. Churchy, Scott, DXman, and Of Noah on the mediums though. So they'll be hoping to pull away from Vipermon behind.
I'm surprised Vipermon got such a good start compared to Of Noah.
Oh, we're underway and Sandy's got a drive-through.
And Zonix.
Zonix got one too, alright. So that's going to be an early, costly one for them. Of Noah already starting to drop off the back of DXman here. And Vipermon just making sure to keep Of Noah in his sights. Churchy closing in on Zonix, looking to make up another place. Zonix did not look great through that S section there. And Churchy now gaining at a rate of knots here into the final sector. And he'll be looking to make the overtake down the main straight.
No!
Ooh! And he makes a bit of contact with Zonix there. Is that damage for Churchy? He lets him go. And now he's got Scott Gaming on his back.
Yeah, so this is an interesting fight. Obviously, Sandy and Zonix have to serve their drive-through penalty, so that moves Churchy up to P17. So now
Milan.
up to P7, so he's up 12 positions now, and Milan gets the move done on Mickey, and Mickey having potentially a little look back here in the Ferrari. No, he gets a pretty poor exit, and I don't think he's willing to use any more battery than he requires to. Kizzy moves up right around the outside of Haroldinho, and I think closest fight on track is still Rapid Mickey and Milan.
Yeah, so on top of the drive-through, Sandy and Zonix both have 5 and 8 seconds. So I'm not sure how they've picked up that. Oh, there goes Milan with a 3-second as well. Just caught that one as Mickey is now right on the back of the Aston Martin here, and Milan goes a bit wide here. So opens the door up. They both have DRS, but will Mickey have the momentum? He's going to sit back and probably wait for the best opportunity on the main straight here to get back on Milan, and he's getting very close to the Aston Martin here as Kizzy gets past PS Bomber.
Morrow's out
time
at
for Morrow at the S's, and it's a safety car. I believe an Alpine stopped there as well. It's Sandy is now starting to move again, had a spin I believe, and I think
there's a stricken McLaren there.
Milan will be breathing a sigh of relief as he was probably about to get overtaken by Mickey there.
Yeah, that's such an odd place at the S's to spin, though. That isn't where people spun in qualifying. That's on the exit of the easy part.
Yeah. Obviously just a lapse in concentration. He also DNF'd in quali at the S's. Yeah. So not been a good day for Morrow. And one McLaren's leading, the other one is out of the race.
Yeah, so a contrast for the constructors. Obviously the opposite of what McLaren would want, kind of. I mean, you have one driver in P1, one driver DNFing. You gotta weigh up how you feel about this race, but I think you'd be feeling pretty happy about one driver.
Yeah, indeed. So in the pits again, Melbourne Mac for the second time, and Sandy to get rid of that 5-second penalty.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Just a note. If I go to position changes, like, the Alfa Romeos have had an absolute blitzing start. 12 positions up from Churchy, and not Mr. Beast. XX Beast goes up 8 positions. So they've just been on a move there, and Scott Gaming in between them, also up 4 positions, and PS Bomber up 7 in P11.
Yeah, really, a bit of a contrast there, just avoiding the drama, all the carnage going on there. Unfortunately, the Red Bulls were in the centre of that, so they've got some work to do. But as we know in this in Div 2, it does change so quickly. So we'll see what happens up front. The restart brings of Noah and Vipermon back to DXman, who had pulled a bit of a gap as well. So we'll see how that turns out as well.
I think another driver, another championship contender, having a very stinker of a race so far. P17 Melbourne Mac. I was expecting him to be quite up the order. He's been quick all season, fighting the likes of Vipermon and Sparks, but he's not there today. Even with his crash on lap 1, he didn't start very high up either. He wasn't even really mentioned in qualifying.
Started 7th. He's already had to pit twice in this race, so that wouldn't be good for his tyres. So what's he currently on? He's on new mediums. So probably he can go back onto the hards. I think he's already had a couple laps of them. But yeah, you're right. It hasn't looked great for Melbourne Mac at this stage.
Yeah, just not ideal at all. I think a couple of drivers pitted underneath the safety car. I think XX Beast being one of them, because he was in P9 and now he's down to P13. So he is boxed off his soft tyres and is now on the mediums. I think that's a good choice from him. He only lost 4 positions for those new tyres, and now obviously he has the fresh tyres. I don't know if I doubt the mediums can make the end, but I think he's bagging on another safety car.
Yep. Which probably, chances are with that S section, you think there might be a couple more to come as well.
Yeah, so it's a safe bet, I would say.
DXman in the lead. Milan will be ruining that 3-second penalty in 4th position at the moment. But a few more penalties to come, I would say, as we already have 4 on lap 6 and a few that have already been gotten rid of in the pits.
Yeah, like obviously the S section, yes, it kills a lot of people with the spins into the wall and things, but I think it also racks up tons of track limits warnings. I know whenever I've done a league race here, except probably ORL Season 1, I've picked up at least a penalty just because that S section, even if you judge it right, sometimes the car, you might just brake a little bit too much and you just turn in and you just, it's like a pixel gap as, oh, the Ferrari spun Rapid Mickey without a wing and spun under the safety car. Collision with Churchy.
It looks like. Well, Churchy was behind him.
But how did he end up without a...
Maybe...
I think it's the pace under the safety car brake test, maybe.
I reckon Mickey could have spun and then Churchy might have bumped into him. Has Churchy got any damage there?
He's not got any damage. I mean, obviously, if it was like a brake test or something like that, it might have just... It'll purely be a report or something like that. I guess we'll have to see after the race, but that is a mystery right there.
Unusual incident there, and... So Mickey in 17th and has no front wing. Lovely. So it must have been a pretty big collision as well.
And I'm quite upset with that because I think the safety car would have been in this lap.
I think it still might.
That's too late. Oh, very late call for the safety car to come in.
Does happen sometimes.
So we'll go DXmond and I'll let you take away the restart.
Alright, DXmond going awfully slowly here. And is he going to take off? He's put... Noah's going really slow as well. DXman can just run away here. And he does. Noah's dropped 3 seconds. And Vipemon is already overtaking him. And so is the Aston Martin 3 wide across the line. There's going to be a couple... Milan straight into second position. I'm not sure if there was any illegal overtakes involved there. But the Aston Martin teammates right alongside, and Vipemon trying to keep it on the inside as well. I'm not sure if that was manufactured by Noah there, but Milan's just jumped straight into second place, and Noah and Vipemon are wheel to wheel. Noah just stays ahead, and that was a perfect restart for the Aston Martins. Unbelievable. There as Spark has got up into 5th as well, closing in on Vipemon there, and Churchy just stalking behind as well. And Kizzy and Scott Gaming have a little bit of a battle. Nice overtake from Kizzy. And we look here, the 2 Williams and the 2 Astons, and he's left a little bit of a door open there of Noah Vipemon. Just a little bit too late. He couldn't quite jump in there. And now Noah really catching Milan. They've got to be careful here through this section here, the Aston Martins. Milan now has the lead, and DXman 3 seconds away from second already. Noah now has to defend from Vipemon, but it's been... What's happened? Oh, Spark is retired! And that looked like an incident with Churchy.
Yeah, it was. I saw it. Churchy, I don't know if it was intentional. I think Sparks potentially moved to the right as Churchy moved to the right at the exact same time, almost like a Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll moment at Kota.
So, yeah, that safety car. Churchy's work's been completely undone there. But what a race start. I've never seen anything like that from what the Aston Martins did there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I mean, they just let DX1 get away. I imagine Milan won't do the same. But I think it was quite silly, to be honest, because it meant they didn't have a go at the lead. They just let him have like a 3-second gap for free, and then DX1 would have just been able to run away with it like he did.
Well, it kind of looked like Noah was trying to just help his teammate there. He wasn't really thinking about the lead, just thinking about hanging on to position there.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, highly unusual. I've never seen anything like that. But we do have another safety car now. So, and it should be in relatively quickly because the field hasn't spread out that much. Mickey in the pits yet again. For hard tyres that he's already used. So he's gone back onto them.
Yeah, so
and Churchy's on new
hards. They can definitely make the end hards.
Churchy's will probably make the end too. So Churchy not in a bad spot now.
Yeah, I mean he's
didn't lose too many places.
Potentially a penalty coming his way, but if we look at actually the race itself, P11 up. What is that? 8 positions still.
He's the highest place driver that doesn't need to pit again.
Yeah, and then his teammate P9.
Yeah, those mediums won't last though.
Yeah, they'll probably do a switch when Churchy catches him on track.
But if Churchy keeps the field in his reach, then he's definitely in a solid position. Not sure why the other medium tyre runners didn't pit.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Probably
the medium runners either didn't have the time, or they think there's going to be another safety car. And I think, personally, like, those mediums can still last a little bit longer, but not very long. So they'll have to think about pitting soon. But on the other note, with what you were saying about Churchy, if he stays within arm's reach, which he definitely has the pace to do, like, he's in provisional P1 right here, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just give me a moment, I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, so Churchy potentially looking at a really good result here, given there isn't any penalties handed out for that incident with Melbourne Mac. So he's sitting quite well here when it comes to positions after pit stops if there isn't a safety car and things like that. And then Scott Gaming, P6 in the Alpine. I mean, that's quite a good race from him. He's up 6 positions. PS Bomber in P8 up 10. He does have a penalty, but are those fresh hards, or has he pitted? No, he hasn't pitted. So they aren't fresh hards, but still up 10 positions. That's quite impressive for PS Bomber there in the Alpha Tauri. And then not Kizzy in P5 there, and he will look to attack Vipermon. Safety car is in this lap, so let's see what DX1 does. This time Mickey spun again his race.
What happened?
The Mickey spun again at the back.
He's got to catch up quickly.
His safety car in this lap, he won't have time.
Have DX been slow enough?
Maybe, I mean, let's see what he does. I'll take the restart here. DXMon slowing the field down, not as much as last time though. He's going a little bit faster than last time, not by much. And
Noah holding up again.
And he's bolted, and he's just let Milan go. I don't know why Noah keeps doing that, but I guess he's just
look at him across the line, Vipermon and Noah here.
So, Vipermon and Noah going
Spin
side by
Beast.
side. Beast spins. Kizzy nearly making it there, 3 wide into turn 1. Will Kizzy on the inside get the move done? Will Vipermon get the move done? They're 3 wide. Oh, there's a pinch of Noah. Nearly gets sandwiched. He nearly gets turned into an Aston Martin sandwich. And now, not Kizzy holds P5, but Vipermon up onto the podium. So holding up people has not done what he would have wanted at all. And I'm going to go back to the fight for the lead here. I don't know why Noah keeps doing that.
Yeah, no, that really backfired on him that time. I'm not... Like, it made sense when his teammate was behind, but in this situation, that was very confusing, as Harold Dino having a look at Kizzy, not quite on this occasion. Noah still hanging on to the back of Vipermon, though, here, and definitely has a chance to get back through. Vipermon not incredibly quick through there.
Churchy on the back of Harold Dino. They make contact. It's almost like Harold Dino slammed the brakes mid-S's.
And here comes Zonix behind as well. Zonix down the inside on Churchy. Hit! And Churchy had no regard for Zonix there. And Zonix is sent tumbling down the order, down to 11th now. And Churchy's getting attacked from all areas as Cozzy... Oh, was it Frosty that went off the track there? And Cozzy and Zonix get through. And Cozzy should let Zonix through down this straight as well, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, impressive after that to hold the points from Zonix, honestly. I thought he was gone.
That was it. Yeah. Noah has some serious pace down the straight. Not enough to get past Vipermon. He'll have another straight here. Not sure if
there's debris off
on just yet.
I saw an end plate flying. It was not Kizzy's. He made contact with Scott Gaming at turn 1, and I saw his end plate go
Mac gets past Dead Heat as well in the meantime. Noah still behind Vipermon at the moment. There's a yellow. And it's a Ferrari, and it's Mickey again. He's having a nightmare, is Mickey down there in 15th place. And the Red Bulls are now getting pretty close as well. And Cozzy now catching up to Churchy. We've got a bit of a...
Oh no, Cozzy's gone! He's in the wall, he's out of the race! Through the S's.
Oh no!
And that's going to be a virtual safety car.
Yeah, that's a VSC there. No full safety car, it doesn't look like.
They only have 2 more safety car tokens left in this race. Because you can only get 5 safety cars in a 50% race.
We've had 2, have we not? And that is costly for Milan as well. And that's really going to hurt. That drive-through penalty is just picked up. So, things happening everywhere at the moment. But DXman of Noah and Scott Gaming are definitely going to be the winners out of this one. They've been on those mediums the whole race, and they can now have a free pit stop. And PS Bomb with a drive-through too. So a lot of drive-through penalties. Oh, sorry, it's a virtual. That's my bad. So that's why they haven't pitted.
Oh yeah, I got confused about that too, honestly. So of Noah, 1.2 seconds behind Vipermon there. Milan 2 seconds behind, but that's a drive-through. So all of that, I must say, quite idiotic delaying of Noah's done to lead a pack to the to leave a gap to the pack has just completely backfired. I guess he was trying to be nice to his teammate, but it's completely backfired. Now he's got a drive-through. And Melbourne Mac now in the points, as we were just talking about how his weekend has not, his race has not been really going too well. He's
he's
him
come to
being
life
down
on
the
those
field,
new hard tyres.
Those hard tyres, he's looking to make a move back into his starting position. Obviously, he does have a 3 second, but I think that's coming for the whole field and down the inside.
Gee whiz!
Holy, what a move
Got some
that would have
balls,
been.
and that's Mickey again in the wall.
Oh, lovely stuff as Milan comes in to serve his drive-through penalty, and now 5.3 second gap DXmond has to Vipermon. Like, he is just in another stratosphere of pace.
Yeah, definitely helped out by situations that have mainly safety car restarts, but now Vipermon has some clear air and he can go after DXman now.
Yeah, Churchy looking for P4 here, opening the DRS. And obviously he was in P6 before, and we were just talking about how he's in prime position on those hards that can make the end. No, he's
oh my goodness.
Gaming. He's probably has a couple of yeah, he definitely has a couple penalties coming his way this race. As
Beast is out. And that's in the third sector. DXman's about to come up to where that is.
So let's just look where he's stricken cars. Oh,
yeah,
he's just gone straight. Wait.
Yeah, unusual.
How's he done that?
I have no idea how he's done that, but
you'd think that could only be done intentionally, almost.
Down to 15 now in this race, and we'll have a look towards the midfield here. It's getting pretty close here from Scott Gaming down to Frosty in 9th, and we'll see what moves can be done here. Churchy has been at the centre of a lot of incidents here this race.
Yeah, obviously, if they get reported, I imagine he'll have quite a few penalties coming his way, sadly, I have to admit, as is TP. But Melbourne Mac passed his starting position now in P6 after Milan served his drive-through, and now he's chasing Churchy, so we'll see if he can make his way into the top 5. What a recovery that would be.
Yeah, very impressive Melbourne Mac in these last few laps. So we'll see what can be done here. Churchy now closing once again. And I'll tell you who else is closing. Zonix on Haroldinho, getting interested.
Ooh, Melbourne Mac all out of shape.
Melbourne Mac, yeah, he did. And Haroldinho now wheel to wheel into this corner. And he just keeps it tight to the inside, Haroldinho. Melbourne Mac has the better exit though. Very tough corner here to go wheel to wheel. Melbourne Mac breaks late. Haroldinho tries to switch back. That would have been incredible. Melbourne Mac has to cut the track.
Oh no, there goes Haroldinho, he's out!
And he's out! Haroldinho's out. And that was... oh no.
That was no one's fault there, honestly. I think that was just that was racing incident. Like, because he tried to switch back on Melbourne Mac and then got all over the left side curb and spun on his own. Like, there was no contact or anything. That was just pure driver error.
That's why you don't see much overtaking at that part of the track.
Yeah, it's too tight to go too wide.
Haroldinho, he gave it a go. He had a bit of bravery, but unfortunately it hasn't worked out for him. And now Scott Gaming comes into the pits to chuck on some new hards.
Churchy up to P4, and like, let's be real here, obviously he probably has a couple penalties, but if we're just looking at this from a penaltyless standpoint, obviously he has that 3 second, but everybody behind him has a penalty. Everybody.
That's right.
So only the top 3 don't have a penalty,
ones.
And Churchy doesn't have to pit, and all the drivers in front of him do. So he's got the provisional lead.
Barring a safety car, Churchy is probably in the prime position here. And we have a look down here. Frosty closing in on Zonix. In fact, getting very close to Zonix. And now a similar spot to where we just saw Haroldinho and Melbourne Mac have a battle. Frosty not that adventurous as Haroldinho was there, making his way through the S's. And he'll try and take advantage of a Zonix mistake here, and he's going to go for it. And Zonix has turned into him, and Frosty's out, and Zonix has damage.
And he survived it,
unbelievable.
How has Zonix survived? Zonix had the snap of oversteer and snapped straight into Frosty. That is peak unfortunate event.
Frosty was a complete innocent bystander there. And we're down to 13. Somehow no safety car for that one.
Oh no, that was poor. It wasn't deliberate. He just got all out of shape and Frosty got collected. But Sonic should have DNF'd there. He's gone clattering into the wall, but he's collected Frosty with him and he's just got away with a broken front wing.
What could we have expected from this race? If everything under the sun has happened. And
everything but a car going backwards on track.
Yeah. So now this makes it a little bit more interesting for all the other drivers that remain here. Mickey's back into the top 10. He's spun about 7 times, but he's in the points.
Oh, you know what? I think the reason there hasn't been a safety car is because on standard you can have 5. I think because it's on reduced safety cars, you can only have 3. And we had the 2 safety cars in a VSC, that counts as 3 safety cars.
Oh, Mickey! Gee whiz, nearly spun again. What's going on with him today?
I don't know, but he's in the points, somehow. So, there isn't really any battles going out on track now, because everybody who was in a battle got all out of shape. And DX1 now into the pit lane, putting on the hard tyres, and let's see, Churchy should jump him. Of Noah is also into the pit lane. And, yeah, past goes Churchy with those hard tyres. They can make the end, but DX1 doesn't come out too far behind. What is that? Maybe 3 seconds behind him. Not even 1.8 seconds. So while he does have the lead, obviously DX1, does have the provisional lead after Vipermon pits. DX1 is right there and doesn't have a penalty.
Yeah, the difference is of Noah, 2 positions between him and DXman there.
That is actually the last thing you would have wanted.
Yeah, so Vipermon now has a bit of time to just push, put everything into it, and he'll be hoping for maybe a bit of a safety car, but it looks to have stabilised a little bit this race here. And Sandy getting really close to PS Bomber here down the main straight. He should be able to breeze past PS Bomber, not letting him go completely.
Oh, what a dummy!
And he's going to go back down the inside, and he's a bit too far back on that occasion, cuts the track. But he's going to give it another go here. No, just falling a little bit too far back to Sandy.
And I think Churchy made a mistake there, because he's been jumped by Melbourne Mac, DX1 and Milan.
Yeah, I don't know how that's happened. Well, DXman obviously pitted. Yeah, Churchy must have had a bit of a moment then. But he's closing it on Milan once again. Doesn't have the DRS yet. So he'll have to wait a little bit longer to make that overtake. Zonix now in dead last after that incident. The S's is now returning to that famous spot here and closing right up to the back of PS Bomber. Will we avoid incident here in the same spot? PS Bomber goes wide. Zonix now around the outside, has the DRS, and he should be able to make a better fist of this one. Oh, PS Bomber hits his back tyre, and now drops back Zonix. It wasn't pretty, but he does get through, and on his return to the points here, he is now 12th.
Yeah, wow. Everything's kicking off in this race, and now DX1 closing up to Melbourne Mac through the S section. So
wouldn't want too much incident here. DXman's got to be careful about this one.
Oh, it'd just be the worst result ever if DX1 gets collected.
Yeah, but he's playing it patiently. Melbourne Mac is a pretty good driver. He is usually pretty clean as well, so this should be have a bit better result than some of the other battles we've seen. DXman is now close. He's on 1 lap old hards compared to 12 laps. And now, he might not even need the DRS. He's already going to breeze past the Red Bull into second position as Mickey is now finally retired after about 30 spins, and you can see where he is there.
Safety
And
car. Safety car.
I don't think it's going to be a safety car once again. And Vipemon would have wished that was a safety car, but he won't get it.
Oh no! I wish it was a safety car though. I was doing my little whisper chant, praying for a safety car because everybody's so stretched out. And of Noah going up the inside of Dead Heat here into the second chicane. And I mean, Dead Heat had no real response. He goes for like the double switchback, the double cutback. Doesn't have the grip to hold off of Noah, and there's still only those 3 drivers, Vipemon, DX1, and of Noah, without penalties in this race.
Yeah, and Melbourne Mac gets past DXman,
And
who has made a mistake.
Yeses, and
now Milan is getting interested. He's got the DRS open, but not quite the speed there. And DXman has lost a bit of time, and that's going to help Vipemon out a little bit, maybe get them a little bit closer when Vipemon comes into the pits. So we'll see what happens there.
So, like, there's a couple of close battles going on, but it's mainly big tyre difference battles, like DXmon and Milan and that. Like, their tyres... are their tyres, like, similar? No, they're not. Like, Milan's a 19 laps old and he hasn't pitted yet. So, there's just no close tyre battles going on, and there's no real close pace battles going on either, obviously.
Yeah.
Vipemon actually, because of that mistake though, stretched 16 and a half seconds. If he can stretch that to 17, if he nails the pit stop, he might jump DXmon.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. Milan closing in on Melbourne Mac though, that could be an interesting battle. They're on similarly aged tyres, and they both have penalties. DXman does a little bit of a drift into that corner. And now, closing in on Melbourne Mac once again. And he'll have to pass in round 2 here. But if last overtake was any indication, this should be quite comfortable for DXman. And Milan will just try and ride his coattails here and use the DRS.
So
As here goes. Yeah, DXman down the main straight. He's a little bit further away than he would have wanted, but he'll get the DRS, and Milan comes into the pits and speeds. So that'll cost him even more time, as here goes DXman down the main straight. Goes to the outside. Melbourne Mac's still at his rear tyre. Melbourne Mac's not going to let this one go, and he's sticking with him, not making it easy for DXman. And in fact, he stays ahead, and DXman pulls out to the left, and it should be a little bit easier now. And he does, and I don't think Melbourne Mac will have a response to that one. Yep, well played. Good defence from Melbourne Mac, but DXman gets through in the end.
What brilliant racing that was, just showing what 2 capable drivers can do around this track without crashing. Finally breaking the battle curse, I guess we could call it. Every time there's been a battle on track today, there's been a little bit of contact, so good to see it not ending in tears for once, just very, very close together. I thought Melbourne Mac honestly would give him a little bit of a better run for his money into the second chicane, but not quite. As I'm actually going to look at Sandy here, he's only 4 tenths behind Zonix for the points.
One of the pits, here we go.
Okay, let's actually move to that. Let's see, he's 17.2 seconds. Will he jump?
It's going to be close here. Vipemon, quick pit stop, gets out. And now DXman coming down the main straight. DXman's going to get in front, but Vipemon is going to be on newer tyres and not too far behind.
Yeah, he's only going to be, what is that, like 2 seconds
4
behind.
seconds, I reckon.
3 seconds?
3 seconds?
3 seconds.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that, I reckon, Vipemon.
Yeah, the fresh mediums as well. He started on the hards, so he's got mediums to burn. And
he does have Ovnal 1.5 behind him.
Yeah, look at the battery of Vipemon there.
Yeah, you're right. 36%. You take that. And Ovnoa catching up to Churchy behind. He's going to want to keep Vipemon in his sights as well. And just through the middle sector here. Closing up, but not much ERS left for him.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the drivers have burned their ERS in all of these like fights. Even when they've had gaps, they're just pushing and pushing. As DXmon gets a penalty. He got a 3 second.
There's the 3 second, and Vipemon goes off. Is that Vipemon? No, it's not. It's Dead Hate. Or PS Bomber, sorry.
You gave me a little
goes off. No, Down the inside of Churchy holding on, Stay ahead there, Churchy. Incredible effort. Oh, he nearly spins though off Noah. He needs to be careful here. Churchy has been in a lot of incidents this afternoon, but now of Noah with DRS, steps on the little ERS he has left, and now gets the rear wing open, and he's completely out, but he should be able to breeze past because Churchy doesn't have any either. And now of Noah finally gets through on Churchy. It was scrappy, but he does it, and now into 4th position.
Yeah, I think something to note for you, by the way, J-Man, is you got so loud your mic started cutting out.
Apologies there.
Yeah, through the stadium section, your mic, it was like peaking out, so it was cutting your voice. Anyway, Churchy still on the back of Ovnoa there, but obviously penaltyless is Ovnoa. Only 2 drivers now without penalties in this race. And right now, because of Melbourne Max penalties and DXmon's penalties and Vipermon's fresh tyres, Vipermon's in the provisional lead of this race. And I'm actually going to move to Vipermon as he is only 6.5 tenths behind. Yeah, Melbourne Mac.
Alright. So we'll see what sort of defence Melbourne Mac offers up here. And he should be able to get right through. It's a yellow Alpine Sandy off, I believe. And Vipermon with the fastest lap as well. Here we go down the main straight. Vipermon is going to pull, or he's going to go to the inside of Melbourne Mac, and this should be pretty easy here. Vipermon now, Melbourne Mac keeping with him. And Vipermon does that nicely and should be able to hang on to the position there. And now he's in the range of DXman's penalty. So all he needs to do is stay in there and he'll get another win here.
And just a quick side note, I was watching the rear of Vipermon and he just flapped the DRS, like waving goodbye.
That's classy from him.
Yeah. So he's just like, yeah, well, I got another Div 2 race in the bag here, mate. Goodbye. But with the S section, anything can happen, really, and obviously there's still 12 laps left in this race. Vipermon could so easily also pick up a penalty. It's still any man's game, really.
Just looking to see if Vipermon has any warnings here. Looks like Vipermon has no warnings, so doesn't look like any danger of a penalty here.
And he's within DRS range of DXmon now too.
Yeah, there's the fastest lap once again.
And DXmon also only has 2% battery.
Yeah, DXmon is he's going to be fighting for his life here. Vipermon is looking to run away with this one here in Mexico. 11 laps remaining. He's on the new mediums, and now he is going to be absolutely hunting down the McLaren. And he's going to want to get through pretty quickly because Ovnoa is probably his biggest threat behind now. So he doesn't want him to catch up too much. And Vipermon now just sticking behind, staying patient as he always does in Div 2. He just plays the patient game, waits for his moment. And now DXman very slow through there. And Vipermon now catching up very quickly. He's going to go off the track. He's going to get the DRS. He's not going to make the move here, I wouldn't have thought. He's going to wait for the main straight. And Vipermon about to make a racer-winning move here, potentially. And this will just assert his dominance on this league even more here if he can get this done. And he's dropped a little bit back out of the last corner here, though, but he's going to have the DRS open. And he's going to be absolutely flying towards DXman, who's out of DRS. And he might have just dropped back a little bit too much there. Might not be able to get the move done on this straight here. In fact, he doesn't. So I have to wait a little bit longer for his move into the lead.
Oh, there's contact!
Oh, he hits him.
So the fresh tyres may be proving too good there. He's been all over the back of him, and oh, he goes to the inside. Not even a car's width there. He nearly goes over the grass, and up the inside goes Vipermon. They're wheel to wheel,
staying there,
and DXmon holding the inside. Vipermon runs off the track, but gets the move done into the double apex right-hander, and what a move, I must say that was. And I wonder if he got a warning for going off the track there.
Gee, kept us entertained there, Vipermon. He just made it look very nice. It was a classy move down the inside. Bit bold, but he's done very well there, and now he can run away with the race. And Of Noah now is needs to catch up to DXman's penalty. He's got 2 seconds to get. That's probably the main battle remaining in this race here. As we have a look down the field, nothing too much going on. Zonix is starting to catch up on Kizzy, but Kizzy does have fresh tyres, so should be able to blast away from him.
Yeah, well, I guess we watch along with that, as it is the closest fight on track, and Zonix is sticking with the 1.3 seconds, and I just want to talk about the penalties in this race. Like, how bizarre is it that only 2 people don't have penalties?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Of Noah has, apart from some of the safety car tactics, which are questionable, he's driven a very nice race so far today.
I think without those safety car tactics, he might be in a better position than he is right now, maybe even on the podium.
Yeah, you would think so. Just quietly, Melbourne Mac can finish out the race on those hards if he can bring them home. He does have, I think, 6 seconds in penalties, so he'll lose out to Of Noah, but if he can take it to the end and finish top 4, I think that'll be a great result for him.
Yeah, and it would be, like we were talking earlier, oh, he picks up another 3 second though. It'll still be a pretty good result for him. He'll still be P4 even after penalties here, but we were talking about how bad his race was going. He was down in P17, now he's, well, I guess you could say fighting for P4 more like, because Churchy might be able to catch up, but yeah, still a really solid comeback from what we saw of him earlier.
And DXman's pace is really starting to fall off a cliff here. Probably it might be a bit demoralised after losing the lead and having that penalty as well. It's really cooled down the intensity of the race here. And Vipermon, just everything going his way.
Zonix had a massive snap through the edge of the S's there, nearly ended his race in the same spot that he took out Frosty.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, Zonix. He's had a few little moments through that section.
Yeah, I also, like, the Alpines were looking strong at the start, and now they have 18 and 12 seconds worth of penalties, and are in P10 and 11. Like,
unfortunate for them too.
I think the amount of penalties is more the concern here. I understand getting like 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 penalties, but Jesus, 18 seconds, that's a bit much.
Yeah, penalties, they're generally the deciding factor in Div 2, and that's why Vipermon's been so successful. Just, he rarely picks up a penalty, and that's the reason why he's now leading so comfortably at the moment.
Yeah, obviously he played the ultimate overcut and then didn't get any penalties and just used the fresh tyres to his advantage, got the overtake, and has just not looked back. I mean, he was my bet to win from the start. I said it just before I started up the stream to you, J-Man, and he's proving it true. Obviously, what is that, 7 laps to go in this race, and the only challenge he'll have is not dying at the S's.
Yep.
It's now
There's another penalty for the Alpines.
It gets to 21 seconds of penalties.
Got to be wary of a disqualification there.
I think the only person to get more was Abu Dhabi finale last season.
Yep.
I think it was one of the Mercedes. He just cut the entire track and got like 40 seconds.
Of Noah, slowly but surely catching up to Melbourne Mac now. And Kizzy on new tyres is going to be caught up to dead heat pretty soon as well. So a couple battles about to kick off here. We'll see how hard Melbourne Mac goes about his defence of Noah here with those penalties. Probably wouldn't want to lose too much time, as Churchy only needs to be within 3 seconds of Melbourne Mac to get a position off him.
Yeah, I think Melbourne Mac's focus should be A, keeping the gap to Churchy, and also not getting another penalty.
Yep, so of Noah, look at the speed. He's already caught up a second in the last part of that lap. Unfortunately, without the ARS, he's going to struggle on the straight here, as you can see.
I've got to compliment you on your signing here, J-Man. You've signed a quick one.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it, to be honest. And Kizzy's already caught up a second to Dead Heat on this lap as well. So that will get a little bit spicy as well.
And now up to 24 seconds worth of time penalties. He's double his teammate is Scott Gaming.
I might just have a little bit of a watch of him just to see
what exactly he's doing.
It looks like he's lagging all over the place.
As now of Noah within DRS, within 6.5 tenths of Melbourne Mac. This battle will kick off soon. Will Melbourne Mac defend, as it's only a 5 tenths different now? I imagine Noah, he has quite the straight line speed. We saw it earlier, so he should go for it down the straight. Will Melbourne Mac put up a fight with a lot of the extra battery he has, or will he just let him go? Say, I just need to focus on Churchy, which would be the smarter thing to do, and just let the Aston go, or will he fight for his life?
He'll fight for it. You know he will. We'll see what happens though. Of Noah, he's got an interesting gap here, and Melbourne Mac is... Yeah, he's used quite a bit of his ARS in the defence here, so clearly making his intentions known. He doesn't want to give up the place, even if he'll lose it anyway to penalties. There's a bit of pride on the line here for him.
Oh, Dexman
has lagged out. That is going to be big. So Of Noah now will be very interested in getting past Melbourne Mac quickly, because now he can catch up to DXman and try and snag a P2.
Range. Yeah, he might be able to get within the penalty range. So
see how quickly he can join back.
Practically, he's going to be beeping the metaphorical F1 horn, saying, "Get out of the way, Melbourne Mac. I want P2." As one of the Alpines spun, it is Scott Gaming there, so losing the position to his teammate, not from penalties, but from a driver error through Sector 3. They're about to be lapped. The Alpines, so that is just truly unfortunate there for them, honestly.
And Of Noah now inside the 3 second of DXman. Very unfortunate what's happened to him there, but now Of Noah was closer than he was in the last lap.
DXman's AI came in. Pits. DXman's AI
so his AI's coming to the pits, and now he's going to lose a lot of positions. And here goes Of Noah into second place, and it's just worked out for him. As it turns out, the pole sitter back up into second, and now DXman's going to lose a spot to Churchy, and Milan's going to be pretty close. Yeah, Milan's going to get through, but the penalties will probably negate that. DXman down in 6th. Kizzy got past Dead Heat while we were talking about that, though.
Yeah, so just interesting, the AI of DX1 just decided no you, and just has ruined his entire race. Just proves how quickly the bugs can turn around a race in this game. Just purely unfortunate there for him. But on a side note, Melbourne Mac sticking. I mean, he's just lost a lot of time through the S's, but he was back within DRS for a moment there.
Yep, and Dead Heat just hanging on to the back of Kizzy, but Kizzy should be able to pull away. So with 3 laps remaining, I think the positions are pretty much settled for this race now. Unless we see some late drama here, which I don't think is likely.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a good race. Obviously, a lot of drama at the start, but once we got all those safety cars out of the way, I think it calmed down a little bit until that fight for the lead kind of kicked back off with Vipermon. But it's been quite a good race here, and look at Vipermon with an 11-second lead.
Yeah, very impressive indeed there.
I wonder if he'll try to charge up the battery and go for a last lap, fastest lap, even though he already has it, because he's got a lot of battery.
Oh, spin for Sandy! He loses his wing! Oh,
no,
gee.
Following in his teammate's footsteps. That's what his teammate did.
Oh, my goodness. Vipemod's coming through there as well in a minute. Did he get through? He did.
Gee whiz.
So no wing for Sandy now.
They really are, really are playing with fate here as Sandy, getting up to 15 seconds worth of time penalties. The Alpines in the absolute mud. Says another yellow flag. I think it's Sandy again.
Yeah, he's stopped on track here, so he had to let lap cars through.
Ah, lovely. Oh, and I think the worst of the races, though, you've got to award a PS Bomber. He's only going where the Alpines were now.
Interestingly, Sandy not pitting, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a DNF in a minute.
Yeah, I wouldn't. God, why am I yawning so much? I wouldn't put it beyond them. Oh, Milan going for a move on Churchy. I didn't even spot that. And as he gets the move done with the DRS, will Churchy have a go back at him? I don't think he's close enough, but obviously with Churchy tonight, everything's possible. But no, he doesn't go back for it, and the penalties for Milan should keep P4 for Churchy anyway. Yeah. So he shouldn't have to worry about that with only 2 laps to go. I guess
Kizzy's gonna catch DXman by the end of the race as well, it looks like.
Is he back with... he's not on AI now, so... Well, actually, no, we don't have ghosting, so I actually don't know. No, he's still under AI. He hasn't been able to join back.
I've invited him. I'll give it another go.
I think I got a DM. It could be from DX1. I'll just check. I think that's just such an unfortunate end to his race.
Yep, and we'll have a look at Kizzy now, who will probably make the final overtake of the race here. Needs to be careful. DXman's AI. And now Kizzy will be making a move for outright 6th here. He takes a dive, he can do that because it's the AI. And just breezes through on the McLaren.
DX1 didn't invite, I think. Say you didn't get yours. So I'll just...
Invite him again.
Yeah, he isn't even showing up on my friends list, so I don't think I can send him one. Oh, there he is. I sent him an invite. Let's hope he can get back in, but it's too late for his race now anyway, really. Just unfortunate.
So Milan needs 8 seconds on Churchy. He's already pulled it out to 3. He's only got 1 lap, though. Noah picks up a penalty, but it's not going to matter.
I guess if he picks up at his current pace, he's pulled 3 in a lap. And so we've got this lap if he pulls 3, and then he pulls 3 on the final lap, he'll technically get it. I don't think surely Churchy won't let that happen though. You can't just pull 3 seconds in a lap like that. I guess Churchy must have made a mistake.
He is on 27 lap-old hards, to be fair, so they would not be tracking too well.
Yeah, but 3 seconds pace difference, that's a bit extreme.
Yeah, he's going wide almost every corner.
Oh, that's huge!
3 seconds for Churchy now.
That means
Milano needs
7 tenths.
7.
Oh, Churchy, what have you done, lad?
Yeah, so Milan, he's nearly spun it. Yeah, Churchy's not having a good time on those hards as we come to the final lap of the race. And Milan might take 4th here in the end. And he'll be very relieved there. If he hangs on to 4th with 14 seconds of penalties, that would be pretty unbelievable, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be spectacular. As there's a yellow flag in sector 1. It's the Alpine of, I believe, Scott Gaming again.
Yep, and we'll look now the ride home for Vipermon up front.
Wait, no, Milan's out of fuel! Milan's out of fuel!
Oh, he is. Oh, that's a massive shame for him. So Churchy's going to get back through. He's going to lose a couple of places there. But for the moment, we'll look to the front here. And as Milan loses a place to Churchy, Vipermon once again, he has a 12-second lead over all comers. He crosses the line now, and he's going to win the Mexico Grand Prix. Unbelievable drive from him again. Noah now is going to cross the line in 2nd on his debut. Got pole. Unfortunately, just couldn't keep up with the speed of Vipermon, but he'll be happy with that result. And Milan just dropping places left and right. Melbourne Mac comes home in 3rd, which he'll be extremely pleased about. Kizzy.
Churchy spun and lost his wing.
Wow.
On the final lap, maybe a tyre issue. He's actually just back with Milan now. He might even...
Milan's going to end up in 9th.
Churchy might lose P5 here. Kizzy's going to come home now to pick up P4. That's very fortunate for him there. What a drive to come back to P4. Churchy will just hold on. But DX1's AI will actually snatch up P5.
It will? Wow. Well, DXman will take that. Milan had 4th. If he didn't run out of fuel, he would have had 4th, but he's got to stick with 9th. But overall, another win for Vipermon, another week.
Just another week in the life of Div 2.
Increased his championship lead to, I think, 138 points now.
Yeah, what a race that turned out to be at the end there. We were like, it's pretty much set in stone. Milan's got this position, and then ran out of fuel. Then Churchy spun, everything blew up there. So I'll run you through your final order. Only driver not to get penalties, Vipermon.
Wow.
Oh, that is, yeah, just the track limits merchant there. He's the Div 2 version of you or I, J-Man. Except a lot faster.
Yeah.
So he gets the fastest lap with a 19.0, and then Ovnoa P2, PRX Melbourne Mac P3, Kizzy P4, DXmon to P5, Zonix rounds out your top 6, Dead Heat P7, Churchy P8 sadly because of his little spin on the final lap, but he did start P19, so that's not even really a bad result in the scheme of things. Milan P9, Scott Gaming P10 with a billion penalties. It's Sandy, the first out of the points, and PS Bomber rounds out the grid, and then the rest were DNFs.
Also, Lindsay, we can just quickly, I've just checked, and Vipermon has now mathematically won the championship. So,
already?
Congratulations to Vipermon in round 9 with 6 races remaining. Vipermon has taken the Div 2 championship, so congratulations.
So we'll get them in for interviews then. I'll ping the top 3 in for interviews. Just join the commentator, VC and ORL. Who was the second guy on the podium? Ovnoa. Join a VC. Oh, so we already got Vipermon and Melbourne Mac in. Ovnoa just needs to join one of the VCs so we can get the second place interview. But firstly, I think we go to Vipermon here, champion of Div 2 with I'm just going to say a lot of rounds to go. How does that make you feel there?
Wait, hang on, what?
You're champion. You won the championship.
Oh, okay. Well, that feels pretty good, I guess. I didn't know, so... yeah, I'm happy for Williams. Hopefully we can chase down that overrule now. Yeah.
So obviously you won that race. You played the strategy and the overcut to perfection there. What were your thoughts with that?
I was a bit annoyed off a safety car restart because Noah had lost me like 4 seconds, but I was just trying to maximize as much as I could get out of the mediums because I knew I had a lot more pace on it than the hards, and it worked out in the end, so quite happy. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any questions, J-Man?
Oh, good. Just congratulations on the championship. 9 rounds, so you've won with 6 to go. So you can take a holiday if you want. But yeah, well done. Incredible.
Yeah, stop racing, Viper.
Oh, maybe will you look for a potential little sneaky move up to Div 1 for the end of the season? Now you bagged the championship.
Been thinking about it, so.
Alright,
fantastic.
so we'll move to Melbourne Mac P3. J-Man, I'll let you ask the questions here.
Well, you're a bit all over the place in that race, Melbourne Mac. Just talk us through what happened at the start and your comeback at the end there.
Yeah, just first of all, I want to say congrats to Vipermon. That's a crazy performance to get that with almost halfway through the season. And yeah, just off the start, it was a bit disappointing. I had a decent start, got past Spark, but he sort of pushed me off the track going through the double apex, and I had to give the position back. So I tried to slot behind him, but I took a bit too long, and I just clipped the back of him and accidentally took Kizzy with me. So Yeah, and then at that point I realised I had needed a few safety cars to get back in it. And almost put on the Alex Albon strategy, just going on the hards till the end. I can't remember. I think I boxed about lap 8. So yeah, just coasting the entire way. I knew I couldn't fight Noah, but unfortunate for DXman as well. But yeah, great race for me.
Lindsay?
So, obviously, we were talking about how you were down in P17 after your crash. Your mindset, was it down the drain, or were you just... Obviously, you said you were saying that you needed more safety cars, but were you still having your head up?
Yeah, no, definitely. I knew the better pace, and with all those drivers in front of me, and obviously with all mistakes in the S's, I didn't have to do much overtaking. But yeah, honestly, I think I had a great setup today with the downforce. So I didn't spin once through the S's or even have a snap of oversteer at all. So yeah, it was really, really good stuff from the back there, and I just tried to keep my head up all the way.
Yeah, well, very good performance. Propels you from 8th in the championship all the way up into 4th. So very handy where you are at the moment, and only 12 points off 3rd as well. So definitely still in the hunt there as well.
Yep, battle for 2nd place is now on for the championship.
So, it doesn't look like we're going to get Noah in, so that'll be the end of the Div 2 stream this afternoon. Div 1 is in about an hour and, 7 minutes time.
Hour and 7.
And I imagine Melbourne Mac will be on comms. Viperman, will you be on comms as well?
Yes, I will be.
Yep,
Yeah,
me and Viper.
so the two people you're hearing in the interviews right now will be your boys on the comms, and that'll be it for Div 2, and yeah, as I said, Div 1's later.